Hey Dan, it's Tuesday evening and I have watched all three of your videos, so I will respond to them individually. So the first one, open mic night, that, excuse me, chili cheese dogs for dinner. And shrimp. And eggnog. Okay, I feel better. I must admit that I'm surprised that it took you 42 years to go to open mic night. I know, first one in Pendleton and all that, but I think that's exceedingly cool that you did it. How long has it been since, outside of Baha'i Camp, that you've performed? Since you've performed, quite a while, right? So anyway, I think that's really quite cool that that you did that. I would love to have heard the metal band and just the general jamming. But you know, you're not good at jamming. How often do you ever do it? Hardly ever, right? So go down, jam more often, and before you know it, you'll be a bluegrass jamming machine. So how often will they have open mic night? Hopefully often enough that you can go down every so often and play. But yeah, that's cool. There's nothing quite like having other musicians, not just people, but other people who are doing the same kind of thing, not obviously genre-wise, but you know, just creating their own stuff and playing it. That's really great. So I'm happy that you went down and happy that you enjoyed it. As to where you were when you shot that video, my gut instinct tells me near Cle Elum. That's my best guess, and that's just based on that 30 seconds or however much out the window. So it just looks like Cle Elum to me. So somewhere near there. That's my guess. Let's see, what else on the open mic? Oh, I did, I was telling Nikki Cutting that the Fountain City Players are going to be doing Arsenic and Old Lace, and I understand that you were the brother, or one of the characters who believed he was Teddy Roosevelt. When you did it, or when the Tumwater High School players did it in high school as a musical, and that Nikki was in it as well. So anyway, auditions are coming up in a couple of weeks. There's a read-through in, I think, on the 19th. But I don't know if I had mentioned to you that they were going to be doing that play. And as much as I would love to be in it, I think I would rather swim. So, what do you do? I mean, I'm fairly committed to swimming, and I enjoy it. I'm focused. I have a goal in mind for this year, and I kind of want to stick with it. So that's my plan anyway. So we'll see. I think Beth and I will go to the read-through on the 19th, but I don't know. I don't think I'm going to... I sincerely doubt that I would do it, but I do want to go through the read-through just to pal around. And actually, I think I had shared some of this with you last year as well. I think that if the general actors who were in the plays over there would actually show up, act their age, and work on it, it would be a lot more fun. Not to say that it didn't all come together in the end, but I think it could have been far greater than it was. And that was a little frustrating for me to spend that much time and have people who don't memorize their lines. So anyway, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to swim instead. So and on the subject of swimming, of course I did the 10,000 as I said. I took all Sunday off and just relaxed. Ate a lot of food. And I don't know if I told you, but we had gone up to Amy and Dave's at night. Yeah. Say hi to Dan.
Hi, Dan.
And Dave had had bought this huge roast and cut it into steaks, and then also had made a tiramisu for Beth, and it was really good. And then Sunday, Amy had made a lasagna, so I had gone to...
The kitty loves you too.
Yeah, thank you. I had gone to Alex, who is... How old's Alex, Preston? 7. His hockey game at the Super Rink, which is actually, I don't know if you've heard of the Blaine Sports Center north of Minneapolis, in northern Minneapolis, but it's where there's a huge soccer center up there, actually. And anyway, I think the U.S. women work out there, but regardless, so I'd gone to his hockey game there, and it's interesting with youth hockey, because you know how it is in youth soccer, they play on smaller fields, but in youth hockey they don't. Same size rink as regular hockey. Not that it's a big rink to begin with, but and then we came back on Sunday. Duncan had to be at school at around 4, and it's only a 15-minute drive from Dave and Amy's, so we just hung out at Dave and Amy's. Like I said, Amy made a big lasagna, and I had a big old plate of... Preston, no, leave her alone.
Yeah.
I had a big old plate of lasagna, and then promptly laid down on Dave and Amy's bed, watched the Vikings lose, and slept, which was great. But I did watch the Mariners, the Seahawks, Sunday night beat St. Louis, poor St. Louis. So, hold on a second. Yellow. Nope, already got him.
Yellow.
All right, see you at home. And that was enjoyable. So they off to the playoffs. I guess they'll be facing Vic. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, that's all I've got from here. No, swimming. Back to swimming. Sorry. So that the big swim, and then I swam yesterday. It was my first day back, and that I swam about 3,500 yards. 3,200 yards. I typically swim somewhere around 4,000 to 4,500. So I took it a little bit easy, guys. You get down, please. I'm making a video. So, and it was still a little bit hard. And what I did is I just swam. It's called going down the ladder. So 700, 600, 500, 400, 300, 200, 100. And then I swam this morning, and actually that was much harder getting in. My shoulders were they weren't hurting, they were just sore. But that was with the Masters group, and they never swim more than 1,500 or 2,000. So I went back to the Y at noon and swam the balance of my workout, and ended up swimming about 4,500 yards today. And that was pretty tough, and my muscles just hurt right now. But the interesting thing was I got on the scale because I was kind of curious to see how much weight I've lost, and they have one of the good scales, the balance scales at the Y, and I've actually gained 5 pounds in the last 3 or 4 weeks, and that surprised me. But I guess that's good. stuff. Hopefully it's all in pectoral muscle. Probably not. But it might explain why every time I walk by a certain group of people, they're always saying, "Baby's got back." So anyway, I hope you and Sarah are enjoying your vacation on the coast. And from Winona, still dead.
Hopefully.
Hello. He is. Hold on.